The Swallows Head and Neck Cancer Charity was born from my cancer journey. So I was diagnosed on Friday the 13th, 2011 with throat cancer. I actually had it at the base of the tongue, and then I had 2 separate tumours each side of the neck. Went through my journey like everyone does, and through that journey and throughout that journey, what I really wanted to do was talk to someone that had been there and wore the t-shirt. And I couldn't find anyone. I could find little support groups, but realistically there wasn't what I wanted. I needed to talk to a survivor that maybe was 5 years, 10 years down the line to give me that hope that I could be there. And I couldn't find anyone. So through the journey I met up some 2 or 3 other fellas that was on the journey at the same time, and we started talking to each other, and we got a lot of comfort from that. So we decided that to help each other, what we'll do is we'll regularly meet up. So we regularly started meeting up. And then as I was coming out of my treatment and starting to think, do you know what, I need to do a little bit more. I didn't want to go back to work. I didn't feel like I was ready for work. And I started to think, well, what can I do? And I started writing things down. So when Sharon came in, we had something to talk about. All of a sudden, I felt better in myself. And now if I fast forward that now 10 years, because now in 2022, we're now actually officially 10 years old in November of 2022, which is incredible. We've got a Queen's Award for the services we do in the voluntary sector for head and neck. And what we do now is we support people at the point they need it, when they need it, and how they need it. How do we do that? We have a 24/7 support line. That 24/7 support line is not an answer phone service. You don't leave messages. When you ring that number 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, if it's a patient, I will take that call. And if it's a caregiver, my wife Sharon takes that call. So it's a genuine 24/7 call.
In 2009, I was diagnosed with stage 4 throat cancer. There isn't a stage 5. I didn't have an operation. I had chemotherapy and 35 sessions of radiotherapy. And 5 years later, when I got the all clear, I saw a notice in the hospital for the Swallows. I actually went to a social event and I was so impressed, so I joined as a volunteer. And it was all about giving back to the people who, at this stage, was going through what I'd just gone through 5 years previously.
We do regular support meetings every second Wednesday of the month. 6:30 they start, finish around 8:30, and we have group meetings face-to-face. During COVID, obviously, that was a struggle, so we went virtual. But now we're going back face-to-face meetings. But on the back of that, because the virtual was so successful globally, we still do our virtual meeting where we get about 120 people on from around the world listening on a support group meeting. So we have those meetings, but not just here in Blackpool. We have meetings right across the UK in most of the trusts now that use us as a service. We also got 120 hospitals in Spain where they have the meetings. So we're in Australia and New Zealand. We also look after 2 hospitals in Saudi Arabia where they have meetings, all happening on the second Wednesday of the month at the same time. Yes, thank you very, very much for coming tonight. It's great to see so many people. The idea is they're not like an AA meeting. You don't come in and have to say, Chris, I'm Chris and I've got cancer. You don't have to stand up and talk. You don't have to do anything. You can just come in, sit down and listen if you want. Or you can come in, get active and get involved. But it's just a very friendly way of getting together with like-minded people and understanding why you're going through what you want. And also, suddenly you realise you're not the only one going through it. And somebody will have a tip, and then someone else will have another tip. And somebody else will then say, well, I have aches and pains, but I do this and I do that. All of a sudden, they're curing themselves of all these issues because they realise they're not on their own.
Well, first of all, I just had a wee bit of a cough, and Danielle told me to make an appointment with the doctors, which I did do, and I got antibiotics for a week. No difference. I was referred to the consultant in Victoria, and I was diagnosed then after the camera and that went down with cancer of the throat.
When we were first told Alex had cancer, I think my heart stopped beating. Family are amazing, friends are great, but nobody knows what you're going through. And we went to the Swallows meeting, we were invited and we went, and suddenly you're with people who get it. They know what you're going through, they understand you, and suddenly you don't feel alone.
You felt really, really a lot better. The swallows really did do something for me. I actually look forward to going to the meetings of the swallows.
Obviously it's all about Alex. You know, he's the one with the cancer, he's the one that's going through it, but you need help as well, we need help as well, and you get that from them, and it's very helpful. It's amazing, it's a comfort.
We also send out support boxes to our patients to help them with side effects, which has got toothpaste in there, mouthwashes, all sorts of stuff that they'll need after their operations and into survivorship. We do a caregiver's bag where we send out a bag to a caregiver to make them feel a little bit special. And November at the conference this year, we've just launched our new mobile phone app, which has got a community platform. So the mobile phone app is every time someone gets diagnosed, they can go on there, they can get tips, they can get recipes, they can do all sorts on that mobile app. But the hospital then also has access to that data to see how they're feeling. So that bridge between them at home and the health professional is bridged instantly in real time. So our collaboration with the NHS Trusts are, we ask them to refer patients to us. So it's a free service into the NHS. So we'll offer you all that what I've just spoke about, so all the support side of it, all the awareness side, all the material, all running the support groups. If we find that those patients are struggling too badly, or they're saying something that really needs to go back to health professionals, we act as that bridge back to you. So we'll let you know that there's an issue. So next time they're in clinic, you can triage them from what we're telling you when they're ringing us on the 24/7 or in support group meetings.
We went with the swallows to 2 conferences, and I was, with being a laryngectomy, I was actually asked to do a speech at the main conference in Sunderland. Well, I thought it was amazing because at the Blackpool conference, we actually saw the robot in action, and to do a surgery as vital as what it is with what you're going through. For a robot to do it, I think it's amazing the way they do it.
Mr. Nigan wanted to, who's my consultant, wanted to actually take a positive outcome, and he found out about the robotic surgery at Blackburn, and he asked would I want to consider it, and I considered it, and then obviously I went for the surgery, and you know, that's why I'm here. Because it's in your throat, the hardest problem for the surgeon is the hands. Obviously can't get further down the throat. So when they use the Da Vinci robot, that allows them to actually go further down your throat and actually be more precise in terms of where they're going to cut, etc.
I think the robots, any micro, anything that's advanced and is less invasive and age recovery has got to be for the good.
We depend on volunteers. We won the Queen's Award for the work that we do with volunteers. We appreciate volunteers because we can't survive without them. We have a shop in Blackpool, big double-fronted shop, but from that we don't buy stock, we pay very little rent and very little rates. So every penny we make goes back into the charity, but also at the same time we're helping the elder community volunteer and get something from it.
In Blackpool we have the charity shop, right, which I'm now involved because now I'm a patron of the Swallows, and the charity shop is what I really try and help, because I go out and collect things. If people have donations they want to give to the shop, I'll go in my little car and I'll fill the car up with whatever they've got. And it might only be one bag of things, but it also might be a car full of things. And that's what we need. We need donations. The advice I would give to anybody who is now going through head and neck cancer journey, either as a caregiver or as a patient, is talk to somebody. Don't keep it in here because this will explode. You need to get it out. Talk to your caregiver if you are a patient. Talk to your patient if you are a caregiver. Don't think, oh, well, I won't upset them. Actually get together and talk a lot. And then, if you are anywhere where there's a meeting, go along and attend the meeting and talk to other people who have been through or are going through the same journey that you're going through. It pays to talk, it really does.
The message I'd like to give out is patients and caregivers are not alone. They've got the Swallows, they've got us, and we are always there for them at whatever point of the day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They should not be on their own, and all we ask you health professionals to do is refer a patient to us and let us take care of them in the way that they deserve to be taken care of.